How's it going, everyone? It's the original Very Old Unicorn back again at Unicorn Garage. We are setting up more of our tools today. I actually have pretty much all of the remaining tools. The only other tools that remain are the ones inside my personal vehicle. This is not my personal vehicle though. This is my wonderful wife's vehicle, Honda Fit. Honda Fits are amazing, by the way. I wish they still made these cars for sure. But before we fully dive into that, let's dive into that intro. Thanks for coming to watch this video. While you're here, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that follow button, and hit that subscribe button. So yeah, back in at wonderful Unicorn Garage. Looks like somebody revised the funnel setup. I understand it was definitely a little teeter-tottery. I'm going to go ahead and let that change remain. And today's plan, we're going to get all these signs moved, this kettle moved, really anything that is directly in our way is going to be getting moved out of the way, including all of the jacks. I think my grand plan, once I get the toolbox into this slot here, is to slide all of the jacks, including these jacks, down in a row this way, and then possibly have the jack stands all in a similar section along this wall. As far as this area is concerned, it looks like somebody went in here and picked up the loose stuff, so we don't really have to do much with that today. But we might be potentially moving this unit around as well, because it runs on electric and the electric outlet is out this way. So honestly, I'm thinking once I get things moved around and situated, the air compressor was probably going to eventually end up in this area, and that'll be pretty good. Oh yeah, you guys don't know about the secret door on Unicorn Garage. Yeah, so there's actually a full door on the side of the building here. That's going to be great in the wintertime. We'll be able to keep it the shop heated and not lose all of our heat by having to open the gate multiple times. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into a time lapse here, and I'm just gonna get grinding, get as much of this stuff moved and out of the way, and then we're gonna start moving my box and getting it kind of roughly set up, kind of figuring out the vibe of how we're gonna be operating here in Unicorn Garage. Let's dive into that. I had to pause the time lapse here Oh man, this is one find of a sign. This one's getting hung up. The other ones might exit the building entirely, but this one, I'm hanging this bad boy up. Alright, let's get that time lapse continued and keep grinding, getting this stuff out. We're making a pretty big dent in the amount of time we've already spent on it. Well, that was quite productive, that last time lapse there. As you can see, we have a much larger opening available than even I initially imagined. I'm probably gonna replan how I was gonna do things just based on this section opening up like that. So we got that going on here. The space is pretty much cleared out as well, so I'll probably do what I was gonna now do with these guys and probably shift all of them right here, because like I think the bottle jacks would sit right up top of that pretty darn easily. So I'm gonna do that and then load the tall boys right in there, have my little station like I was literally planning on my head. So that's gonna be great, I think. But before we do that, we're gonna actually work on this section. We're gonna open the door up. Yeah, so I was talking to my brother before he just went to a contracting job here, and he said I can move some things around here in a certain way to get the door open back up. And I definitely think I should, because there's a tool cart hanging out there in front of the door, and we might want that tool cart for future organization and other such plans. So let's do a time lapse of this side and really make it look brighter and more open in Unicorn Garage. So as you can see, we are already at the door. Look at this, guys. We got a door that goes outside the building and allows you to also go inside the building. All right, well, I'm gonna pile everything back in here, but in a more organized fashion. Time lapse that. And then next, we're gonna actually move the toolboxes back into their, well, not back in, but into their new slots. Let's get into it. So yeah, we definitely put a big dent in reorganizing and setting this side of the shop up. We now have a much better organization, and most importantly, working door. That's the best satisfying feeling too. Also getting like all the stuff to fit in here, and the door still opens and closes with no clearance issues. That's also a big win. So I think it's time we move on to this side of the shop. I think we're gonna start by getting the toolbox in. You guys have waited long enough to see that, I believe. So I'll get the jacks out of the way, and then right after the toolbox is getting rolled into its new home, let's go ahead and hit that time lapse. Well, everyone, I am the original Very Old Unicorn. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.